the Titans. Evan McPherson, who I believe went to Florida, hits a 52-yard field goal to win the AFC divisional round. They punched their ticket to the AFC title game. Wow. Joe Burrow and the Bengals. I mean, how did the Bengals go from before 17 games, we had 16, obviously. They added one extra. How do they go from like a 2-14, never made the playoffs since the 90s or 80s or whatever? I mean, they have not been in this position for a super long time, but Joe Burrow coming through, and even though it was a defensive battle, he had a heck of a game. I don't have the stats written up on banners, but I can zoom in and we could look at it and talk about it real quick. Joe Burrow, 28 of 37, 348 yards and an interception. Ryan Tannehill, though, he had 3 picks. That was a big game changer. Like on paper, Ryan Tannehill had a terrible game, which quite honestly, even off paper, he didn't look too good. 15 of 24. He did throw for over 220 yards. That's good. He did get a touchdown. Derrick Henry was not in this game, so they turned to Foreman. Who is it? Dante Foreman. I don't think I've heard that name. 4 carries, 66 yards. A.J. Brown, he had a good game. He had a touchdown. 5 receptions, 142 yards. It's not too bad. Jamar Chase, though, he balled out. 5 receptions, 109 yards. Joe Mixon, 14 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown. Overall, this was – I don't know how I want to say this. I think that if you look at the stats, especially for, like, the Bengals, the scoreboard does not show for it. Like, what they did on paper stat-wise was great. But 19 points, if you see 19 points in a game, win or lose, you're saying, oh, they didn't have much offense out there. They did. They just couldn't. They didn't really score a whole lot. The Titans defense played well, but it came down to Joe Burrow putting them up in great position. Evan McPherson goes out there to kick the game-winning field goal. 52 yards. Oh, my goodness. It was incredible. And Evan McPherson's only like a 1 or 2 year, rookie. He hasn't been there that long. In fact, actually, I think this is his first year. And again, he came from Florida. But I'm going to show this real quick and let y'all see just what exactly went down. Take a quick look and check this out. Evan McPherson, 52 yards. Again, I mentioned this was insane. 52 yards. Swings the leg, McPherson. Wow. That height, the length, the drive, and the Bengals go to the AFC title. Again, we got matchups tomorrow. We'll find out who they're playing. And, of course, the Bucs and the Rams play tomorrow. We'll see who's going with the 49ers. But, man, I mean, what a game that was. Overall, again, get back to this real quick. There's really not much I can say on this one. I mean, I'm just going to make this short and to the point. There was a lot of great defense. I mean, it was an old-school game. Not a whole lot of big plays downfield. Just offensive line play didn't look too good going back and watching it. Joe Mixon ran in a touchdown. Overall, you look at the scoring summary. Evan McPherson, 38-yard field goal, 45-yard field goal. Derrick Henry ran in 3 yards in the second quarter. They try to go for 2. Why that is, I don't know. Why not just go for the extra point? I mean, you'd still only be up 1. Evan McPherson hits a 54-yarder. Joe Mixon ran in. So it literally was like outside of a 33-yarder from A.J. Brown or for A.J. Brown from Ryan Tannehill, outside of that, it was old school football. It was great defense, and the run game made the scoring touchdowns and carried the offenses in this game. Again, you look at it, too, on paper, Tennessee had more yards. Now, Cincinnati had more time of possession. I always look at the team stats, and I mentioned to you guys, like, this is what won them the game. So, looking at this, 345 yards to 353. Tennessee led in yardage, right? Which I don't want to say it's 9 times out of 10 that's going to help you win the game. Yardage doesn't matter. You could get a 99-yard bomb and get stopped at the half-yard line or something and not be able to punch it in or hit a field goal. What good is it going to do if you don't answer and get points on the board, you know? But here's the key factors. Outside of yardage, Tennessee had 3 turnovers to Cincinnati's 1. Cincinnati had 1 more first down. That can make a difference. And Cincinnati held on to the ball. Joe Burrow was able to make big plays, extend drives, kill the time. You know, if he was up in the game, they were going to kill the clock. They had a 20-second drive towards the end of the game. They get 4 plays in field goal range, good enough for McPherson in the snow, by the way, and he hits it good. I mean, it was incredible. And actually, I apologize. It wasn't this game he hit it in the snow. I'm thinking, and we'll get to the 49ers-Packers game here in a second. But this is the one, like, this is just so, like, insane, you know, going on the road, by the way. Like, Titans were at home. This is only their second home loss. Like, how crazy. Okay, the Titans went 12-5, right? And I'm sorry, this is technically their 3rd loss at home, but only had 2 home losses. They've been pretty good at home. And we'll get to the 49ers and Packers game in a second. Because the Packers lost at home for the first time this season, too. But overall, great defense in this game. But Joe Burrow delivered a little bit more completion-wise, yardage-wise than Ryan Tannehill did. The only good thing you can say about these quarterbacks, or the only thing you could say about Tannehill that he had over Joe Burrow was, hey, he threw a touchdown pass and Joe Burrow didn't. But what does that matter? He threw 3 interceptions in this game. 220 yards isn't bad, but man, if you're throwing 3 picks in one game and the opposing quarterback only gets one, let alone even if he had 2, you still have more than he does. Turnovers are a big deal, and especially in the playoffs, and I think he saw that in this game here. But overall, again, game-winning field goal. Evan McPherson hits it long, by the way, and great defensive game. Evan McPherson going up, hitting it big for the Bengals to get a playoff win, and for the first time in a long time, Cincinnati will be in the AFC Championship next Sunday.